It was just magic. The way everything would just come together. Just people that, old, young, just everybody come together to make this show work. Different backgrounds, different parts of the country. We just come together and put it together. And it worked.
I heard about Motown Maurice in October of 2009. He was conducting a forum called Ask the Attorneys, and I wanted to be on the panel. So I give Motown Maurice a call, and he tells me that the panel is full. I wasn't trying to hear that. I was upset. To my surprise, a few months later, I was able to meet him for the first time at a Christmas holiday party. He was taking pictures. So I went up to him and I said, "You didn't let me be on your show." And he smiled and he told me that he was gonna launch a late night talk show. I was really excited about that. And I told him that I was gonna support him.
Late night, television show, Letterman, Leno, Carson, good stuff. Not this stuff we've been doing in these little bars and things and just little this and that. Stuff that we have been just taping to put in a vault or maybe put on YouTube or Motown use on a reel or something. No, this is television. This is here. You know, we've been here and now we're gonna go here. And as it sunk in, and it seemed like, you know, this is just this mountain. Just, you know, this is daunting to me. There's no way. But then we realized that what we've been doing for the last 3 years was preparing us. Just because we started here with the combination, we moved up with Wide Awake Wednesdays, and then little other things here and there just kind of moved us on up to late night talk television. We was ready to go. Didn't know what was going to happen. Knew it was going to be good because we weren't going to let it be bad. But excited.
We gonna make some money in 2010.
So immediately after Motown's original pitch, we knew it was going to take some planning, some imagination. None of us had even been to behind the scenes of a late night talk show. We had seen the finished product, but we had no idea what would have to go on behind the scenes before the show. So we started recruiting, we started training, we started getting people in the places they needed to be, started training them here, figure out they couldn't do that, but they could do this. Started just everything moving, just started flowing in the way toward getting this goal of Motown's to be a reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you the project of 2010 that's going to change Tampa forever with you involved. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome and prepare yourself for the Motown Maurice Show.
First planning meeting, and there's people, you know, standing up and saying, well, I've worked here and I've worked there and I've done this and I've done that, and they're all good and this, and then we never seen them again. And so as it's going along, it comes up to me, and I stand up and I go,
I'm Scott Carrington, and as he said, I've been drinking the Motown Kool-Aid for about 3 years.
So we have our meetings. We get our plans in order. We start getting ready to go to rehearsals. We rehearse and everything starts coming together good. But what you need to understand is we weren't shooting in a studio. Now people will say, you know, you'll hear people going, what studio were y'all in? No, this studio didn't exist in Tampa until we made it exist. We were in the Cuban Club. It's just an events place, you know, you can rent it out, do the wedding thing. They have a tattoo convention there every year. And it was in the bottom. It was a filled-in swimming pool. It was a swimming pool years ago, and now it's filled in. There's a stage, some plugs on the back, that was it. We added backdrop, curtains, studio furniture, everything. We turned it into a late night studio. A studio where the Motown Maurice Show was taped. We made it our own. It was our place. It was the Motown Maurice Show. It was pretty darn good too.
So even after Pam accepted, we were still kind of cautious. I mean, we had never done anything like this before. No one's ever asked us to sponsor a late night talk show. I mean, things like that don't happen in Tampa.
Our credibility was on the line. What if it flopped? I mean, there were so many things running through my mind, even though I made that major commitment.
I just couldn't shake the feeling of being really hesitant about this.
I'd never seen him perform anything.
But, you know, we went with it and we committed to it, so.
After I wrote the first check, I decided to go sit on the rehearsal to see what was really going on. So when I got there, I saw this huge cast of people. I saw the production crew. I saw photographers. It was just so many people, and it was really good. It looked professional. The excitement was just overwhelming. There's even a news reporter from the St. Pete Times newspaper. This thing was catching momentum.
Look forward to it. So are you coming to the show, or are you going to send extra support?
I'm going to come to the show, and then I'll try and write a story that just sort of turns on the drama of, you know, can he pull this off?
After the first show, I was relieved. The show was so exciting. The cast was just so perfect.
And after the first show aired, I could breathe a huge sigh of relief. Whew, whew. I mean, it went so well. I could have never imagined it would have turned out that way.
I'm really glad that I sponsored the show.
So here we are in Tampa, Florida. Motown Maurice Show in the Cuban Club, making it happen. During the week, I catch a couple of these other shows, and I'm watching them, and I realize we're doing what they are doing. We're doing as good as they're doing. Because we got everything they got. We got a sound crew, we got makeup artists, we got a hospitality department.
I was in charge of the hospitality department, and it was a great opportunity for me to meet and serve all the guests. Most importantly, my duty was to, well, you know, escort Motown after the show.
So I was kind of like in the hospitality department. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I was really Motown's do-boy. You know, picking up his bags. You know, I have no real technical skills, so, you know, whatever Motown wanted me to do, sometimes I, you know, hold the camera for him.
Yeah, I got Jphil behind the camera.
You know, and every now and then when, you know, he was busy, I'll go take some flicks, you know, with some celebrities, come back in, you know, do my job, you know, maybe pull out some chairs, you know, stuff like that. The whole experience was great, and I got to give it up for Motown. He represented for Tampa Bay.
We've got camera operators.
I was a senior at the time in high school when I used to run Camera One. It was considered my first television internship. And I used to change my hairstyle from time to time to keep things fresh.
We've got producers.
Our very first guest was Major League Baseball player Donna Span.
We've got a photography department.
I covered live action photography, candid photography, individual photo shoots of Motown.
We've got production assistants.
I had the most important job of them all, cue cards. And after the show, I worked in advertisement.
We've got a security team. We've got a guy that can kill you with his bare hands. And we had people with multiple titles. They couldn't just have just one.
I was demoted, then I was promoted. I was the executive assistant, the stage director, and the stage manager.
And we had Reggie Smiley. Reggie Smiley, the man. He recruited the band. He recruited the sound guys.
All right, so that sounds good. Sounds better.
He got the voiceover guy.
It's the Motown
He did the
Maurice
opening. He floor directed every show. He edited the first 4. And we had equipment. We had one guy supplied 4 monitors because we had 4 cameras. The cameras, another person supplied 2. Reggie had 1. Motown had 1 because they were all the same kind. It was easier to match, so that's what we did. I supplied some tripods. Me and Reggie supplied lights. We had cables running from one end of the Cuban Club to the other. I bought a 500-foot roll of coax, just coax cable. Extension cords. I bought enough extension cords to wire a house. We didn't have no breakers go off on us though. We had everything distributed out. It was awesome. And we was just making it work in the basement of the Cuban Club.
All right, Reggie, we need a curtain right here or like right here.
And I had a couple of guys watch it on TV. And they looked at it and they go, "You're shooting in SD, standard definition. Why don't you shoot it in HD, high definition?" And I'd go, "Why don't you buy some high definition equipment?" Because we did this with what we had. I bought a few key pieces, but I was planning on buying them before we decided to do the show. So everything just come together. We didn't spend a pile of money, but we made it happen. When you watch, I would watch the opening. I watched the opening, heard the opening. I edited the last 4 shows. And I'd seen that opening so many times, just about make you sick. But I would see it on the TV when it was coming on. And it wasn't maybe a goosebump moment, but it was like, I know what it took to make it happen. I'm in that basement every Saturday doing it, and it's like, it looked so much beyond what you would have thought. It turned out so much better than I thought it would. And for 8 weeks, we had a late night show. The Motown Maurice Show existed the first season. And it was just awesome. And it was just everybody deciding to go with this vision and doing it. And we just did it. It was just, I kept electrical tape in my pocket and we just taped stuff and hooked stuff and tied stuff and made it happen. And it happened.
Me and Pam had no idea it would have turned out this way. I got to hang out with everyone before and after the shows, and I came down from Orlando to check in from time to time, and I always left feeling just so proud of what we had done and that we were able to help it come about. So yeah, I was just really happy, and overall I know to this day that it was a very good investment, and I'm so happy that we made it.
Each show got better and better. He even brought in celebrity guests. Bernadette Stannis of Good Times, Tommy Ford of Martin. I mean, we had an array of celebrities. I was thoroughly impressed. And you better believe I was sitting on the first row clapping.
Give a ride there.
I missed the show. I miss watching my son on stage. I miss the team. And most of all, the dancing. You remember it? I remember the words, but I remember the music.
will it save the world? No. But it was something that happened in my life. It was important to me. And I want other people to know what happened. You know, oh, it was just a show. It was just Motown throwing out one of his dreams and a bunch of fools just lining up like sheep and making it happen. No, no it wasn't. We all had our individual things we wanted to accomplish or we wouldn't have been there. You know, if I didn't want to be part of a show, if I did not believe in the stuff that I had heard you talk about and seen you explain and all during our times together, I wouldn't have never signed on for that, you know, because I was putting out money for snacks and water, Gatorade and Pop-Tarts and Cheez-Its and snacks that I ate and the production people ate. I was pouring out money of my own, and I don't regret it and I don't begrudge it, but it was just part of what I wanted to do to make it all happen.
Just trying to make this look as good as it can look, as good as we can make it look, where it would be presented to the advertisers.
We made that darn thing work.
We'll be right back after these messages.